Students, good morning and welcome back to the online class. So we'll continue with the illustration problems on consignment stock. You take down this problem. So take down this problem. Okay, so Anand of Bangalore consigned 500 toys to Bhaskar of Mysore. So now the Anand has consigned the goods. Means Anand is the supplier of the goods. Bhaskar is the receiver of the goods. So supplier of the goods is known as consigner. So Anand is the consigner. Bhaskar is the consignee. Okay. Anand is the consigner. Bhaskar is the consignee. So how many number the units of goods is 500, that is 500 toys. 500. The cost of one toy is 200. So the cost of each, that is one toy, 200. So 500 into 200, that is the total cost of the goods consigned. Anand paid rupees 5,500 as a freight and insurance. So 5,500 is an freight and insurance that is incurred by consigner. Okay, so now all the expenses, the entire expenses incurred by consigner is non-recurring. So this 5,500 is non-recurring, and you know what is the treatment. So you have to debit it in the consigner's consignment account, and this is something new. 40,000 is received as an advance from Bhaskar and received 40,000 as an advance from Bhaskar. Now who is Bhaskar? Consignee, right? Anand has received 40,000 advance. Okay, when he consigned the goods, he received 40,000 from the Bhaskar. So Bhaskar sold the goods. That is to be done at the later, right? After receiving the goods, the Bhaskar has to clear the market. So then you have to appoint the salesman. Then you have to sell the goods. But before selling itself, the advance payment that is received by the Anand. So the out of total expenses, sorry, total sale value, you have to deduct this advance. So where you have to record this? In consignee's account. Consignee's account. What is the journal entry when Bhaskar makes the payment? Bank account debit to Bhaskar, right? Same. Advance payment that is received by Anand means for Bhaskar it is payment. So now in the point of view Anand, bank, why bank? Because you received the money. cash or bank account should be debited. Who is the giver? It is Bhaskar. It is Bhaskar is the giver. So where you have to show? In Bhaskar's account. In Bhaskar's account. Where? On the credit side, it is by bank account. You have to show it as a by bank advance payment. Then you have to record the expenses as well as the commission. You go to the format. First you have to write bills receivable. If there is any bills receivable, in this problem there is no bills receivable. Then you have to write the expenses as well as the commission. From consignment you transfer the balance. Then if there is any advance payment, then you have to record that. That is by bank. The remaining, the balancing figure, that is again by bank, that is final settlement. Okay. So if there is any advance payment, then that should be recorded in consignees as well as consignor's account. You have to record it in the consignor's account when you are preparing consignors in the books of consignee. But here they asked only to prepare consignment and consignees. Okay. Next, Bhaskar paid rupees 10,000 and octroi and carriage. Now what is octroi? See, it is nothing but the tax levied on the goods entering the town or city. For example, if now the goods has been supplied from Bangalore and when it enters the Mysore, that is something new. That is a new district, right? When it enters the city of Mysore, the tax what you pay, that is octroi. It may be between the countries, between the state, between the cities. Okay, when it crosses the border, you have to pay the tax. That is called octroi. Okay, so octroi is nothing but the tax levied. That is the duty levied on the goods that is entering the city. In Kannada, we call it as sunkada. Okay, we call it as sunkada katte. Like we are paying something, paying some tax on the tax that is on the goods purchased. Okay, so Bhaskar paid 1,000 as an octroi carriage. So octroi as well as carriage is incurred when you bring the goods. See, for example, the goods has arrived to the border of the Mysore. Now to bring into the Mysore, that is a city, you have to pay the octroi. To bring that goods from there, you have to pay the carriage, means that is an expenses. So this is non-recurring expenses because this is incurred before the goods enter the go down, not the city, it is go down. Non-recurring means any expenses that incur before the goods enter the go down. That is very important. That is go down, not city. This you incur when the goods has arrived to the border of the city, and this carriage you incur when you have to bring that goods. Okay, 1,500 as a rent. Which rent? We assume it as a go down rent. Okay, so go down rent is paid after goods enters the go down, right? As well as insurance, you will take the insurance when you receive the goods. So 1,000 is the non-recurring and this two item is a recurring expense. 410 toys were sold by consignee for 1,10,000. See, out of 500, 410 were sold, and here the total amount is given. He is entitled to a commission of 5% on sales. 5% on sales. So you have to calculate the commission. Now in this problem, there is no abnormal loss, there is no normal loss. So only one thing, you have to calculate the consignment stock value. So write calculation of consignment stock. Okay, so units and amount column. Now first you have to take the cost of goods unsold or invoice price. Okay, if you get confused with the cost, you can write invoiced price of goods consigned. Here invoice price and cost price one are the same, so it is 90 into 200. How you got 90? The total goods consigned 410, out of which 500, out of which 410 is sold and there is no abnormal loss. So the remaining itself, that is goods unsold, that is 90. 500 minus 410 into 200, that is cost of one toy, 200. It comes to 18,000. So what next? Next, you have to add the proportionate non-recurring expenses of consignor. And I hope you know how to do the cross multiplication, how to calculate the proportionate. So 5,500 is the total expenses incurred by consignor, that is for 500 units, and you want to the proportion, that is for 90 units. Same way, proportionate non-recurring expense of consign is the consign incurred 3 expenses. In that, only one that is non-recurring, that is octroi and carriage. So 1,000, that is non-recurring. If you do the total, we'll get the consignment stock value. So if you finished with this, then you would draw the lines for consignment account. So write the heading in the books of Anand, that is consignor, consignment account. Okay, so in the books of Anand, that is consignor, consignment account.
Show me your back. Show me your back.
So first you have to write 2 goods sent on consignment. That is the first thing. That is consigned 500 toys at rupees 200. So that is 2 goods sent on consignment. Okay, next. See the next one. Anand paid 5,500. Now who is Anand? Is the consignor. So we are preparing the books of consignor. So you have to write 2 bank account. That is expenses. That is freight and insurance. Freight and insurance. Next, 40,000 as an advance from Bhaskar, that you have to record in the Bhaskar's account. That is next account, consignees. Bhaskar paid 1,000 for octroi and carriage, 1,500 as a rent, and 1,200 as an insurance. So this is the expenses paid by the consignee. So we cannot write 2 bank. Why? Because if you write 2 bank, means that is expense paid by Anand. But these expenses that is incurred by Bhaskar, so you have to write Bhaskar's name here. Okay. 2 Bhaskar's account, octroi and carriage, rent, insurance. So write the amount in the inner column, sum it up, and take that figure to the outer column. Okay, next. So 410 toys were sold by consignee. So it is a sale done by consignee. So you have to write by Bhaskar's account, not cash because it is not sold by Anand. So 110, sorry, 1,10,000. So next, commission. To Bhaskar's account, that is commission 5,500. So that is 5% on sales. So my sale is 1,10,000. So on that 5%, it comes to 5,500. So we are done with consignment. The balancing figure is transferred to profit and loss account. Sorry, before that we have consignment stock. That is working note number 1. See, working note number 1, we got consignment stock 19,170. Balancing figure transferred to profit and loss account. Balancing figure transferred to profit and loss account. So the total is 1,29,170. Now you find the difference. Find the difference. So the difference is 14,470. 14,470. So next to draw the lines for consignee's account, that is Bhaskar's account. Okay, so first that is from consignment account. Here it is to by Bhaskar. You see, for the first thing that is sale by Bhaskar. In Bhaskar's account, it is to consignment. To consignment. Next debit side there is to Bhaskar. In Bhaskar's account, it is by consignment. Same with commission. Okay, so in Bhaskar's account, the one thing that is debit side, you will get only one entry, that is sale, and the credit side, one that is expenses, and the commission that is from consignment account. The other two entries, that is if you draw the bill, if the bill is drawn, then you write by bills receivable. If there is any advance payment, then you write by bank, and you know what is the journal entry, right? That is bank account debit to consignee's account. Every time you have to check whether any bills drawn, whether any advance payment is done. In this problem, there is no bills drawn, so no need of recording bills receivable. But here there is an advance payment done by Bhaskar to Anand, so that you need to be recorded in the account. Okay, so that is nothing but when consignee pays the amount, what is the journal entry? Consignee pay the amount means you are the receiver. Now you think when you prepare the books under consigner, you are the consigner. You have to think in the point of view of consigner. If you're preparing the books in the point of view of consignee, then you have to think in the point of view of consignee. You are the consignee. Okay, right? Now you are the consigner. So the person who is standing next to you is the consignee. It's just an assumption. Okay, it's the consignee. Now he makes the payment. He will make the advance payment to you. Now what is the journal entry? You are going to receive the cash. So cash account debited. You can write it as cash or bank account, but the transactions that takes place in lakhs. Okay, so we take it as a bank account. So everything that should be transferred to the bank only ultimately. So bank account debit. Two, who is the payer of the money? Though you are the receiver, you cannot write your name. So that you have to write the payer's name. Payer name is the giver. Here the Bhaskar is the giver, so he should be credited. So what is the journal entry? Bank account debit to Bhaskar. Now you are preparing Bhaskar's account, so you are right. By bank account, advance payment means that much of money he already paid. He already paid 40,000. So the total sale done by Bhaskar is 1,10,000, out of which he already 40,000 has been paid. So remaining yet to that the Bhaskar to be paid to the consignor, that is we. Okay, we are the consignors, so that much of money had to be paid, out of which you have to remove the share of commission and the expenses earned by Bhaskar. Why? Because that is because of the consignment the Bhaskar has incurred some expenses. If the consignment is not taking place in at that time, the Bhaskar would not have been incurring that much of expenses, right? Now here in this problem 3,700, that's an expenses incurred just because the Anand has consigned goods to Bhaskar. Now who has to bear the loss? That is expenses. It is just because of Anand the goods has consigned. It is just because of Anand's and the agreement, that is consignment, the expenses has incurred. That is why it should be borne by the consignor, because the consignee is selling the goods on behalf of consignor. So we are adjusting that expenses as well as commission. So instead of giving entire amount to the Anand, later we are collecting the cash from the Anand. That is in the part of commission or expenses. It is better to adjust the amount which should be received by the consignee, and which should be adjusted by the consignee for incurring the expenses, and the remaining amount we can remit or transfer to the Anand. That is the easiest way. So 1,10,000 after deducting the expenses, commission and the advance what you paid earlier, that is consignee already paid. After removing this, what figure you will get? That is the final settlement, means that much of money yet to pay by the Bhaskar. That is why the journal entry bank account debit to Bhaskar, because that much amount the consignor yet to receive. So total 1,10,000, difference 60,800. So at present, after deducting expenses, after adjusting commission, after the advance payment deduction, 60,800 at the basket to be paid to the Anand. Okay. So this is illustration number 8. So if you finished with this, we'll go for the next problem. Next 12 marks problem. Okay, these are the 12 marks problem. So they will ask such type of problem for section B, that is 12 marks problem. Okay, that is only preparing ledger accounts in the books of Anand, that is consignor. Here they asked only to prepare consignment and consignee. Sometimes they may ask to prepare the necessary ledger accounts. And remember one thing, whenever they say necessary ledger accounts, you have to prepare all the ledger accounts. In the books of consignor, you have to prepare 4 ledger accounts, that is consignment, consignment, consignee, abnormal loss and goods sent to consignment. This is very important. If there is no abnormal loss, then you just don't, then you no need of preparing that abnormal loss. But if there is goods sent on, there will be goods sent on consignment, you have to prepare goods sent on consignment. Okay, so the major 4 ledger account that you have to prepare in the books of consignor are consignment, consignee, abnormal loss if there is only. Okay, if there is abnormal loss, then you have to prepare abnormal loss, and consignment, goods sent on consignment, that you have to prepare. Okay, in the books of consignee only 2 ledger accounts, that is consignor's account as well as commission account. Okay. Okay, I think you finished with this. We'll move on to the next problem. So take down this problem. It is something similar to the previous problem. Again, there is no abnormal loss, there is no normal loss, so it is similar. Okay, so it is Hercules Limited consign 100 bicycle costing rupees 1500 each to MRF Limited. So here Hercules Limited is the consigner because he is supplying the goods to MRF Limited. So MRF Limited is the consignee. So it's at the cost of 1500 each. So the goods has been consigned at the cost of 1500 on 1st March 2021. Hercules Limited paid 10,000 for freight and insurance. So this is the non-recurring expenses of consignor. MRF Limited accepted the bill drawn on them by Hercules Limited for 1 lakh. See here, it is the bill drawn for rupees 1 lakh. So this you have to show it as a bill receivable. Okay. So it is drawn on consignee. So in consignee's account, you have to write by bills receivable and paid 4,000 towards go down rent. So go down rent is an expenses incurred by MRF. MRF means consignee. So this go down rent is a recurring. Okay, after goods enter, you will pay the rent. 2,500 for insurance. So insurance you take only when you receive the goods. Before that, you won't take insurance policy. 1,000 for unloading charges. This is non-recurring. Unloading means the goods has arrived. You have to unload. Unload process is done only once because only once goods will arrive, right? Later you will sell it to the ultimate customer, but the goods will receive only once at that moment. At that time, only once you will receive the goods, or you can explain in the other way also. You can think in the other way. For example, when the goods is coming, you are till the gate. After that, you will unload the goods. Then you take that goods inside the godown. You can assume in that manner also. But why it is not recurring? Because unloading or the goods will come only once. So we take that unloading charges as a non-recurring because unloading is done only when the goods is arrived. But go down rent after storing the goods, after assembling the goods in your go down, every month you have to pay the rent. Insurance, every year you have to pay the premium. But unloading is done only once. So it is not recurring. And is entitled to a commission of 5%. So MRF Limited sent an account sales on 15th. I hope you know what is account sale and what is pro forma invoice. So I gave the theory and I explained that. Okay. So stating that 80 bicycles were sold at 2050 each. 80 at 250 each. 2050 each. Now 100 bicycles, 80 were sold. There is no normal loss, there is no abnormal loss, means the remaining, the difference itself, closing stock. 100 minus 80, 20 bicycles. Okay, I will give 3 minutes to calculate the value of consignment stock. Now you have to do it. So write working note number 1 and you calculate the value of consignment stock. Okay, do it fast, just 3 minutes. Okay, now check your answer. So first you have to take cost of goods unsold. So unsold 20 into 1500, it comes to 30,000. Proportionate expenses of consignor, proportionate expenses of consignee. Total it is 32,200. So if you have done it right, then you draw the lines for consignment and you start preparing consignment account. Okay. So start doing consignment account. If you have any mistake in this account, you just please correct that thing. Those who have made it right, please go for the next account, that is the consignment accounts, that is in the books of consignor, that is Hercules Limited. So write the heading in the books of Hercules Limited consignment account, then you draw the lines and you start preparing ledger account. Okay, complete it fast, that is consignment account. So 3 more minutes to complete the consignment account. Do it fast. Okay, check your answer. So to start with, two goods sent on consignment, that is 100 bicycles at the rate of 1500. It comes to 1,50,000. Then the expenses that is incurred. You go by sentence, okay? So don't skip the sentence. You go by sentence wise. If any sentence that is connected with the next sentence, then you can skip that. For example, if commission is given first and the sale value is given next, you can record sale, then you can go for commission. But otherwise, you just go by sentence wise. So the next one, that is expenses incurred by consignor, that is 10,000 as that is a non-recurring. So try to bank. Then the expenses incurred by consignee. Then sales, that is 1,64,000. The commission that to be calculated on sales, if they don't give the base that is on what you have to calculate, you calculate it on sale itself. And the commission is always calculated on sale, because you get commission only because he is selling the goods. Then the consignment stock account, that is the closing value, that is working note number 1. The difference is transferred to profit and loss account. Total 1,96,200. Difference 20,500. If you done it right, then you go for the next ledger account, that is consignee's account. If you have made it, if you have done any mistake, then you correct it here itself. So next one, that is consignee's account, that is MRF Limited Company's account. So first you have to transfer the figures, the entries, you have to post it from the consignment. That is, for consignment, you can see the credit side, there is by MRF Limited. So in MRF Limited, it is to consignment, that is 1,64,000. Then the expenses as well as commission, that is from consignment. And the next two entries, that is one, that is the bills drawn, and the second one, that is an advance payment or the advance amount received by the consignor. So in this problem, they have drawn the bill. The Hercules Limited, the consignor has drawn the bill of rupees 1 lakh. You can see here, Hercules Limited drawn 1 lakh on the 1 lakh bill on MRF. So it is bills receivable. If there is any advance payment, then it is by bank. So in this problem, there is no advance payment, only this much. Then the balancing figure is transferred to bank account. So total 1,64,000 and the difference 48,300. So this is consignee's account. So if you're not finished, you complete it. So I will end today's class till here. So we have solved two problems. After this class, once again you solve the problem. Okay, when you are free, please go through this format. So again, I am repeating. Make sure that you know you are thorough with the formats. Okay. So and one more thing, that is, if I am giving any assignments, then you have to do it in the A4 sheet. Okay. Sorry. Then you have to do it in the notes itself, not in the A4 sheet. If the assignment is provided by the through the college, that is all the subjects. For example, if you are doing the internal test, in that cases you can write it in the A4 sheet. But the class-wise assignment, that is, I'm talking only about my subject, that is financial accounting 2. If I'm giving an A assignment personally, then you have to solve it in the notes, because it is a part of notes. That questions maybe they ask for the semester examination. So that is for reference purpose. You do it in the notes itself. So homework also. So in the case of homework, you have to do it in the notes itself. Okay. So I end today's class till here. Thank you.